Okay, so movement principles. We're talking about movement over load and breath. Okay, two really important concepts that we want you guys to keep in mind when you guys are in class. So I'm gonna start with the first one, movement over load. And that basically means we wanna see you guys expressing the proper movement in each and every exercise that we do, more than upping your load. So essentially, if you guys are lifting, let's say it's a goblet squat, which I'll show in a second, as long as you guys can demonstrate the proper movement for that specific lift, you can up your load now, or up your weight. Now, if you want to get heavier, if you, let's say, choose the next weight the next day, and boom, your spine starts quick caving in, or it's just too heavy up here. Well, you know what? You can't do that lift. We're going to say you need to back off of that load because really you just can't demonstrate the proper movement and require your spine to stabilize in the right place to lift that load. So a really simple principle when you think about it. Basically, we just value movement over load. So, for instance, I was taking this kettlebell and I'm just going to do a goblet squat. So I want to show you from the side so you can see. So I'm doing a goblet squat, right? And again, we want to see that neutral spine, okay? So when we get down, boom, nice and squat. Good. So if I express and demonstrate the right spinal, the right movement and keep my spinal joints stable, cool. But let's say I jump up to a heavier weight, or the next day I try a heavier weight, and boom, I'm already collapsing, and then or coming down, and boom, my shoulders collapse in. You see that should be here, but my shoulders are collapsing in. Shoulders are kind of my protraction of my shoulders coming in. That right there is demonstrating that you cannot lift that weight or that load at that movement. So simply, we would just have you back off or do less. And we would work around that. So this is not a problem. Obviously, it happens all the time, right? Every single one of you will have loads that you cannot lift because you cannot stabilize your spine. Usually it's a spinal issue. You cannot stabilize your spine in that position. So we would just say, hey, this is what we want to see. If you can't demonstrate that, cool, we'll just back down. And we'll try it again another day as you get stronger and as you are progressing. So really simple. And then breath. So breath is important. It's very simply breath. We want to keep you breathing throughout a lot of your movements, and I like to practice calm breath. Sometimes I say just Buddha breath, but basically we want you guys to be breathing throughout your movements. Now, we'll get more specific as you guys are lifting, and when you should inhale, when you should exhale. But quite simply, we just want you guys to be breathing. Okay? Don't hold your breath. Don't be tense. We're going to see if your faces just go purple when you're lifting. We're going to know, hey, you might need to breathe a little bit. So very simply, just breathe. So that is movement over load and breath.